Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast, The Purple People. And today I've had the privilege of meeting a lovely lady. Her name is Claire Reeves, and we've met via Instagram and connected over our different healing techniques and the things that we offer, and also our love of singing and dancing. So without any further ado, get your headphones on, tune in, and let's welcome Claire to our lovely podcast. Good afternoon, good morning. Are we there yet? Not quite sure. So, hi Claire, how are you? Thank you for joining us today.
Hi Jo, lovely to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's always so lovely to have new faces, new people on the podcast, and especially I haven't had anybody discussing the therapies that you offer today. So I'm super excited to hear about what you can offer people and your journey as a counsellor, hypnotherapist, and all the other lovely stuff that you do as well. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute. Do you want to introduce yourself to people and let them know who you are and what you're about?
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. So, hi everybody. This is my first time on a podcast. So, thank you very much for inviting me, Jo. I'm Claire Reeves, and I have a business called Claire Reeves Coaching and Counselling, and we're based in Swadlincote. So, as Jo said, we offer so many different things. We have a counselling service. So we've got a team of 5 counsellors at the moment. Some are counsellors in training, some are qualified. And we work with adults mainly, so people over the age of 18, with all sorts of things. So anxiety, stress, relationship issues, you name it, we're trained to help you to explore it, work through it, process it, and hopefully come out the other side feeling better and stronger and more equipped to deal with life. So we have the counselling service, but then we have a different service. So me personally, I am a counsellor, but I've gone on to train in lots of other different things because, as I've just been saying to Jo off air, once you're in this world of personal development, it's just never ending.
And you never stop learning.
You never stop learning. And I am absolutely obsessed with learning about the world of personal development and self-help, but also just being the best human I can be.
Oh.
So after training to be a counsellor and setting up in private practice, I've then gone on to do, I'm a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, which is really good for rewiring your brain and helping you with things like anxiety and confidence. I'm a master practitioner of hypnosis as well. And I also do the coaching. So with my clients, and timeline therapy, master practitioner of timeline therapy. With my clients, the thing that makes perhaps me different to some other coaches is that not only can I help you to figure out where you're at now and the steps that you need to take forwards and help you on that journey of keeping you accountable and keeping you motivated. Because I'm a counsellor, I can help you to really dig deep and find the root of the problem. Yeah. And really help with the inner child stuff and where all of these beliefs and emotions came from. And that's loads of stuff.
Yeah, we say all the time, we said this in previous podcasts, that with any kind of healing, whether it be energy healing, counselling, hypnotherapy, NLP, eye movement therapy, it all relates to the root cause of something. You know, where that root cause comes from, where that belief system comes from. And we always say, oh, it's peeling back the layers, peeling the onion, so to speak, and really helping to establish where that came from. And sometimes it can be quite surprising. People often say, oh gosh, I never would have thought that that was an issue, or I'm still thinking or processing over that. So, yeah.
When I meet my new clients, I always explain to them that I feel like we're like detectives,
Yeah.
that we are putting the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together and making the links between how they feel now
Mm.
and their past. Because if someone's suffering with anxiety or low confidence and self-esteem, they weren't born like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I find fascinating, that if you've picked that up somewhere, you've learned those
Mm.
beliefs, those habits and ways of being, you can unlearn them. So
Yeah.
once you know where they come from, you can then take control of them a bit more and do something about them.
Absolutely. So you've got this whole umbrella of therapies that you offer. I'd like you to tell me a little bit about your hypnotherapy, but also this timeline
Okay.
therapy, because
Yeah.
obviously everybody's probably heard of hypnotherapy, but the timeline therapy, it's not something I'm totally familiar with. Could you give us a little example of what that might be good for or how it works?
Yeah, definitely. So timeline therapy was devised by this guy called Tad James. And basically, it's taking the principles from hypnotherapy and NLP and putting them together. And it's all about helping you to make changes on an unconscious, deeper level.
Right.
So, honestly, timeline therapy is my favorite thing to do in the world,
Ah,
because the results that you can get from one session could literally take you months and months of counseling.
wow.
It really is so powerful. Usually it takes about 4 hours. And the reason why it's so brilliant is that you can help a client to make changes, but the client hasn't got to do a lot of talking. So
Okay.
in counselling, it could take you weeks and weeks and weeks to talk about why you feel the way you do and what you've been through. But with timeline therapy, because it's based on hypnotherapy, the majority of it is done through visualization. So I guide the client through a process of they close their eyes and they are imagining the timeline of their life, and they're imagining sort of floating back into the past and accessing memories from the past where that event in the past has been the root of the problem. So once we can go back and find the root of the problem, we can work with that memory and help that client to reframe it. So to look at it differently, look at what they learned from that event. What are they noticing about it now that they didn't perhaps notice before? And by doing that, we can really help the client to go way, way, way back to when they were born and even before birth, and really access things in their unconscious mind. Um, to get to the bits that just through talking you might not be able to access. So it's really good. We look at 5 negative emotions. I mean, no emotions are negative, but for the
Yeah.
sake of this, anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. And we
Okay.
go through the process with those emotions separately and help the client to release those.
Mm.
Because the premise of it is that if you imagine for the emotion of anger that you've got a bucket,
Yeah.
over your lifetime, every time you've had an event where you felt anger, you're filling up your anger bucket.
Yeah.
So now it could be in everyday life, it doesn't take a lot for you to lose your temper,
Mm.
because that trigger that you've had now in the present day is built on a lifetime of anger. So timeline therapy is almost helping you to empty your bucket. It helps you to have like a detox for your mind, get rid of anger from the past that you don't need to hold on to anymore, so that in everyday life, when you are triggered by things, you've got a lot of room to play with there. It's not based on a whole sort of history's worth of stuff
That
that's
sounds
still
amazing.
under the surface. It's really good for releasing limiting beliefs as well. The I'm not good enough one tends to be one that we all have to some extent.
Yes, imposter syndrome at its best.
Definitely.
So
So
what kind of results have you seen with your clients through doing these therapies? I bet you've seen some real transformations with people.
yeah, it's really good for people that are struggling with their confidence and self-esteem. And the thing that clients mostly say after a timeline therapy session is just that they feel clearer, they feel lighter, and they just feel better able to deal with life's everyday stresses.
Yeah.
Um, it improves their relationships. It can improve just their ability to stay calm, so their emotional resilience.
Mhm.
Um, oh my gosh, the results can just be amazing. It really can transform how someone feels about themselves and how they're then relating to other people. I know in my life, I had a lot of anger still from the past, from my childhood with my mum and dad separated, and it was a very, very messy
Mm.
10 years of a very, very messy divorce. I had a lot of anger from the past to do with my dad, and I knew that I was being triggered by my dad a lot in the present moment, but
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't really doing anything now. I knew it was triggering stuff, from my childhood. So doing timeline therapy helped me to release that anger. My relationship with my dad over the last few years, honestly, just from that one timeline therapy session, has just gone from strength to strength. And
So it's
you
something that you'll see fast results in.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. So it takes 4 hours ish the session. But for some people, that's all they really need.
It's a nice afternoon away from reality as well, isn't it? Get the kettle on, let's go.
Yeah,
So what led you to this sort of lifestyle? Because before this, didn't you used to be a teacher?
I did used to be a teacher. I was a primary school teacher for 5 years until I had my boys. But I have always been fascinated with people. I think I come from a family of um, lots of my family members have different mental health issues. So I've always been really interested in it. And my role in my family has been the healer, the mediator, sorry, the counselor, the one that people go to for to listen to their
I
problems.
resonate with that very well.
Um, I think a lot of people in this profession do, don't they? Don't they call us the wounded healers? We've
Yeah, I think a lot of people in our profession is because we've been through the shit show, we've got through it, we've got the t-shirt, we know how to fix it, and now we're teaching others to
Yes,
do the same.
definitely. And that's, with my clients, that's why I've gone more into the coaching world as well, rather than the counselling, because with counselling, I found that the boundaries were quite tight and I couldn't really show a lot of myself in the sessions,
Yeah.
whereas I can now with coaching. And with my clients, yeah, I think that is part of the healing process, is letting people know that you've
You're
also
human
been
too.
through, yeah,
Yeah,
you've had your own journey, you still have your own struggles, you're just a human.
yeah,
And that letting people know that how they're feeling is, in quotation marks, normal.
yeah,
I think that's a big part of what works for my clients. But
absolutely.
yeah, I've massively struggled with anxiety and confidence issues all my life. So I've been on my own journey with that. But when I was younger, you know how you used to get the magazines, like, I can't remember what they're called now, but I remember every weekend I used to go to the little shop and buy my magazine. The first thing I would do was go to the problem pages at the back,
Oh,
read the agony aunt, that section, cover up what the agony aunt had said, and I would pretend that I was her and
oh
seeing how
wow.
close my answer matched to hers. Um, so I always wanted to be a counsellor, but when I went to uni when I was 18, I had to you had to be 21, so I couldn't do counselling straight away. So I did my degree in psychology, and then I thought, "Oh, maybe I want to be an educational psychologist." So then got into teaching. But then after having my boys, and realizing that you can't do it. Well, I can't do everything.
That's, and that's another thing that we've spoken about earlier is the overwhelm of,
Yeah.
and especially with women, we have to be the worker, be the wife, be the mom, do the housekeeping. We're expected, I think, to do so much now that when we do step away and say, I can't do everything, we have this kind of almost guilt upon us as if to say, well, we should be able to do everything. And that's a tough one with a lot of women that I see. They have so many responsibilities, or they feel that there's a lot more expected of them that they can cope with.
Yeah. And to be honest, that's
Yeah.
probably a lot of the reason why people come and see me
Mm,
is because they've got a busy family life. They've built this career, but they've almost forgotten themselves in the process.
mhm.
So they now don't know what makes them happy. They've
Yeah.
lost hobbies and their interests,
Who am
and
I outside of this?
yeah, you
Yeah.
need all of that stuff, don't you, to
Need
be
to go and join an Andram club and start singing and dancing.
definitely. So I do help. That's a lot of what I help people to do is like reconnect
Yeah.
with themselves. And I think when I was a teacher, I'm not very good at doing things by halves. If I'm doing something, then I'm doing it properly.
Yeah.
And I knew that being a mum was something that I'd always wanted. And I couldn't be a teacher and put 100% into that without my children suffering, and then vice versa. I just couldn't see how I could do both things and do them to the best of my ability. So I left teaching and concentrated on being a mum for a few years. And then that gave me obviously the perfect opportunity to then retrain and do what I really wanted to do, which was the counselling. So, and then the rest is history.
And as they say, all paths lead home. So
Yeah, definitely.
sometimes we jump off one path and onto another, but ultimately, if you were manifesting as that young girl reading your magazines, helping all the people in the agony section, it's been there from child that you are here to help people. You're here to make the world a bit easier, make people feel less vulnerable or alone, I suppose.
And
Which
that's I just want to feel like on my deathbed that I'm leaving this world a slightly better place than when I entered it. And even if I've just had a positive impact on one person, then that will be amazing. I think you've just got to try and be the best version of you can be, haven't you? And
that's absolutely
that's
it.
all you can do. And if I can help other people to do that, then the butterfly effect, it's going to
That's it.
spread out to as many people
The
as possible.
ripples begin, and it begins with one little pebble, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Oh, that's fabulous. It's so nice to hear your story and find out more about you. I've got a feeling that me and you and Jules are going to be good pals. It's
Definitely.
lovely.
And definitely. And that's why I've contacted you in the first place, because you do so many wonderful things as well that counselling and coaching, like we've just been saying,
Yeah.
aren't the only way. And I'm on a mission, as you are, to help people, but also to let people know that there's so many wonderful ways that they can heal themselves and so many tools that are available that they can use to improve their lives. So hence me getting in touch with you, because I can't wait to hear about what you do with your clients. And
Well, while I've got you on the old podcast, we should let people know. Claire and I have actually been speaking over Instagram because she's been putting some fabulous workshops together, and she wanted me to come and give a demonstration about crystal energy and crystal healing to her lovely people. And she's having lots of different. Is it once a month? You said you were going to do the workshops.
yeah, we're doing them once a month and inviting different practitioners and different people with different skills to
Walks
come
of
and do
life.
introductions to different holistic therapies and different techniques and tools.
Which is fabulous in itself because, like you said before, some people maybe they can't get to a one-to-one session, or maybe they'd feel more comfortable being in a group to learn rather than feeling like it's vulnerable being on your own and expected to talk about X, Y, and Z. So in a group setting, I think that can also bring some nice comfort because you're meeting people maybe that are looking for the same solutions that you are, or looking maybe just to be surrounded by like-minded people for an hour and feel in a calm, safe environment. So these workshops sounds like a fabulous idea.
Yeah, thank you. They've gone well so far, and really looking forward to seeing what else to come, what else um, you're going to offer. I can't wait. And
Mm.
thank you
If
so much.
anybody wanted to get in touch with you about your counselling sessions, your hypnotherapy, or the workshops, what would be the easiest way for them to reach out to you?
So the easiest way to reach out to me is probably through the website. So that is www.clarereeves.org.uk. And you can have a little look at the different things that we offer, and then you can book a free exploratory call through that as well. Or I'm on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. It's at Claire Reeves Coaching. So you're welcome to message me through there. But if you or if anybody else is suffering with anxiety, stress, phobias, fears, um, confidence issues, if you're going for an interview and you just need some help preparing for the interview and getting into a confident state, whatever it is, please, I'm sure we've got something that we can help you with.
Do you have any clients that come to you regarding like health issues, maybe dealing with a health issue that they're going through that they need help coping with, or is that
Certain,
something you could possibly help with?
yeah, in terms of health issues regarding the physical side of it, probably not so much, but certainly a lot of physical issues generally are because of the
Yeah,
manifesting from our
yeah.
emotional.
No, I didn't. I didn't mean can you fix this person like a doctor. Because I have a lot of cancer patients that come just for
Yeah.
the pure reason they want to be able to cope with what they're going through mentally.
Oh, definitely to cope with that. Yeah, definitely to cope with the changes that they're going through in their life, but also helping them with tools and techniques that can help to manage stress and anxiety.
Mm.
Because, sorry, that's what I meant before. Like that can present itself, can't it? If someone's dealing with stress and anxiety, that can come out as back problems or skin issues or um,
That's it.
sleep
Well,
disturbances. So we can certainly help with any of the sort of emotional, psychological things of coping with things and making improvements in that way. Definitely.
and so if people are coming to have some sessions with you as well, I believe that once they've spent time with you and gone through the techniques that you can offer, they can then take those things with you into their day-to-day life.
Definitely. And that's what we're all about, is empowering people to have the tools and strategies to be able to then cope better on their own, develop their emotional resilience, and yeah, lead a better life going forward without us.
And that's it. That's what we want, isn't it? Because we don't want people to be dependent on us. So they feel like every time something goes wrong, they have to, oh, I have to come for this, I have to go for that. It's about prepping people, giving them the tools that they need, and then letting them take that with them.
Definitely. And my job as a coach in particular is helping to empower people to see that they already have all of the tools
Yeah,
and skills that they need, because
yeah.
I'm not giving them anything extra. I'm just helping them to almost break down the barriers that are in the way of them seeing that seam of gold that already runs through the middle of them. It's just sort of taking away the beliefs and the fears that they have to help them to tap into that resource that they already have.
Oh, that seam of gold. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that one. That's lovely. I liked how you went like that with your hand as well, like you were drawing the seam of gold. That was brilliant.
We've all got one.
A seam of gold. I like that. I've not heard that before. That's really
I
nice.
didn't make it up. I can't take credit for that.
No,
So
but it's something that I'm never. I've never heard that before, that phrase. A lot of work that we do in our field is obviously based with your chakra system
Yeah.
and your energy field, but for me, it's always bubbles. But yeah, seam, I like that. Thank you for that, Claire. Oh, fantastic. It's been so lovely talking to you. Before we do wrap it up, do you want to, because where are we now? February. What are your latest workshops if people would be interested? Would you like to say what the coming months will be so they can get a feel for what's on offer?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, February we are going to be having a restorative yoga. It's not going to be a really sort of sweaty physical one. It's more of a yoga nidra, relaxing and that sort of session in February. March, we have got a lady coming in from Wild Minds. They're another brilliant business that are local, that do wonderful sort of meditations in the forest and
Oh, lovely.
yeah, different things. I go every Saturday
Oh,
to
nice.
move a furnace, which is in Swaddling Coat, to a meditation class there. The lady there is coming to do an introduction to Tai Chi, uh,
Oh,
and then hopefully the lovely Jo Hall from Mexico will be coming in April to do some crystal healing and
I will indeed.
that. So I'm very excited about that. We're just going to get a date sorted, aren't we? But I have a monthly newsletter as well. So if
Nice.
anybody wants to find out about the different workshops that we have on offer, from month to month, then people are welcome to sign up to the newsletter because I advertise them in there, or I advertise them on the social media channels.
Well, we
So
can definitely link all these things onto the podcast once it's up and ready for the lovely purple people. So if you send me the links, we can share those. And if people have questions or think, yeah, I'd like to join that, then they can get in contact with you that way.
that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So I think we've covered pretty much everything we need to cover today. So all I want to say is thank you so much. And next time you're in Lichfield, I want you to come and have a cup of tea with me.
I will definitely go and have a cup of tea with you. Thank you so. It's been so lovely to meet you today, Jo.
And
And
you,
you
Nigel.
do such wonderful work. I
As do you. As do
can't
you.
wait
That's
to
what
meet you
we're
in
here for.
person.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll go for a sing song while we're at it.
Definitely.
We'll dust off the dancing shoes and go.
I'm up for that.
Oh, thank you so much, Claire. It's been wonderful to speak to you. And hopefully we will see you again very soon.
All right. Thank you, Jo. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening today, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. And this is just what is wonderful about my job. It brings people together and it brings like minded people together as well. It's been a real privilege to talk to Claire today, and I'm really looking forward to the workshops that we're going to put together soon. So tune in next time. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.